Make a scatter plot of the data. Write an equation that models the data. So we have for the x values 1, 2, 3, and 4, and corresponding y values of 1.25, 2.50, 3.75, and 5.00. We want to plot 1, 1.25. So here's 1 for the x value and approximately 1.25 for the y value. Our next point is 2, 2.5. So here's 2 and here's 2.5, or at least approximately. Then 3, 3.75. So 3, 3.75 be approximately there. And for our fourth and final point, 4, 5. So 4, 5. Now, we can approximate a line going through those points, and it should look something like that. And what we're asked to do is to find the equation that models this data. Well, it appears to us as though these lie on a straight line. Let's take the first 2 points and we'll calculate the slope using the x-coordinates and y-coordinates. Remember that the slope is equal to subtracting the y-coordinates in the numerator, 2.50 minus 1.25, divided by subtracting the x-coordinates in the denominator. So that gives us m is equal to, in the numerator, 2.5 minus 1.25 is 1.25. In the denominator, 2 minus 1 is 1, which is 1. And so because we have a 1 in the denominator, we don't need to write it. That gives us a slope of 1.25. Now, it would be good to check to make sure that this slope is representative of other points. Well, interestingly enough, let's just take this slope of 1.25 and notice that that is the difference between these two because we just calculated it. But it's also the difference between these two, as well as the difference between these two. So in fact, that slope of 1.25 is correct. Given that that's correct, if we were to work backwards, that is, go back to this point here, we would subtract 1.25. That would give us a y value of 0. We would subtract 1 from the x value of 1, and that gives us 0. So in fact, we do know that this line, if it were extended, would go through the point of the origin, 0, 0. The reason that's important is now when we write our equation, we write it as y equals the slope, 1.25, times x, and then plus the y-intercept, but the y-intercept is 0, so we would just leave our equation that models that data as y equals 1.25x.